So I was watching Nectar House and I wanted to comment on something like one of the problems that two of the cast members had. And it's about when you process your feelings and people who've had to do it alone. Whether like there weren't people that they could rely on, whatever the case is. And so there's one of the characters, well, one of the people, Django, who, I all of this is from my take. I'm not a therapist or psychologist or psychiatrist, any of that. It's just my take. So it seemed to me that he is very much a person who processes independently, independent processor, right? But then Deb, she probably has the A in her thing, like in her prints, like the A something something something. Like they give you the four letters. Anyway, she's like a person who needs to actively sort out her feelings. Hence why she has such a huge YouTube channel. She literally gets paid to talk and chat and share her feelings, ideas, opinions, her reaction to things. And she is such like a bold character with a lively personality. And everybody loves her for it. I watch her videos. She's a hilarious woman. Anyway, that's not the point. So anyway, she is a person who very much needs to talk it out, like actively work through her feelings. Whereas Django is somebody who independently figures out his feelings. Like for example, he's someone who, like, if you guys had a fight, like, well, not fight, you know what I mean, like an argument, or a disagreement, he would go away, like, solve all the things, process it on his own, then come back to you with like a neat little package, perfect little package, and say, okay, da 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 da, like this is how I felt, this is what happened, this is how I felt, this hurt my feeling, blah blah blah. You see what I'm saying? Like, cause that's exactly what I do. Like I go like on my own. I process all my feelings, and then I have in like perfect neat little package. Like, boop, here's how I feel. Here's a decision. Blah blah blah. And then yeah, and that's completely different from Deb, who's like very much an active person. Like she needs to like move through things, like physically move through things. She's like Aries too. Like what's new? Anyway. So what I'm saying is, she had asked she had tried to talk to Django more about it, and he's like, nah, like I already gave it to God, right? And that's the thing. Like, first of all, I'm not arguing with that. It's 100% bad. However, you process your emotions, whether you're religious or not. So that's how he processes his emotions. And giving it to God, like that phrase, giving it to God, that means you send it up, and after that you're not worrying about it. Like, you've moved on. It's like, bah, 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 I'm good. He's going about his day, he's doing something else. So I understand that. Then when Deb came to him, he's like, I don't want to rehash this, I already gave it up to God. Like, that's it. I understand that. However, when you're in any partnership of any sort, right, whether you're married or dating, or you're just interested in the other person, like their case is, you need to find a way of how to, like, co-regulate. I think that's the word, like, or co-process your emotions, not just independently process, right? And his way of independently processing was not suitable, like, for that particular situation, because it's now you and her who have a problem. You know what I'm saying? And she needs your input in order that you guys can find common ground, sort it out, whatever you want to call it, right? So, like, she would keep asking him questions, and then he would not give her the information, so they weren't able to solve, like, the issue in this case, right? Disclaimer, I'm not blaming him or anything. I'm just looking at it communication wise, not the issue wise, because with the issue, I actually agree with him. I'm just saying communication wise. So forget the actual issue or whatever happened. I'm just talking about styles of communication and just that, okay, in this like video, whatever. So I'm saying that there is some limits to when you are the person who's used to like sorting out everything on your own, like all the feelings part on your own. And so, number one, like I said, he gives it up to God, right? And just, I'm getting somewhere, just bear with me. One, he says he gives it up to God, right? And two, later there's a point where the host asks if he has any regrets, anything he want to do differently, like, at the end of the show. And he's like, no, I don't want to have any regrets. Um, I'm all set. Like, I'm good. I don't like to revisit the past and then feel bad about it. It's like basically what he said. Because me too, I understand that completely. Like, I've like said that too, like a long time ago, that, I don't want to create regrets for myself, blah, blah, blah. But what I'm saying is, like, put those two quotes together, right? What I'm saying is that, like, it absolutely makes sense. However, number one, it's okay if you have regrets on something or on the way you handled something. It's okay if you say, hey, I should have done this differently, because that's reflection. That's the essence of reflection. When you have regret, it's only that you feel bad about it. You see the difference? Because at the end of the day, you're still going to take action on it, and say, okay, next time this comes up, if opportunity presents itself, I will do this better, right? I will handle this better. The only time it becomes regret is if you feel bad about it, if you feel guilty, if you feel ashamed, like within yourself about not having done it in whatever way, right? So what I'm saying is, and then the second thing with the his give it to God way of processing his feelings, I'm just like, okay, that works. However, especially for someone he want to be married to, I mean, someone who wants to get married in the long run, right? It's gonna be him, the person he chooses, and God. So it's like, even then, even in a God-centered marriage, you're still gonna have to be actively communicating with your partner, and that includes co-regulating, like letting them help you work through your feelings, and of course that's gonna look different just depending on the people involved. But that's what I'm saying, just remember that even if you're a person who is used to doing all those things on your own and just giving it to God, letting it go, there are instances where you do need to be able to still share your feelings with the other person, still talk it out, still say, okay, here's what was going on in my head, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just saying, like, I think you get it now, right? Yeah, like, even if he had given it to God and it was settled between him and God, it wasn't settled with him and Deb. So you see, you see what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I pointed wrong, but it doesn't matter. So I'm saying, even though he was good, like him and God was good, him and her was not good. You see what I'm saying? And she still needed to talk through it with him, especially because that's how she processes. So you see what I'm saying? You can't be overly reliant on independent processing if the situation requires interpersonal processing. You see? I don't know the real words, but that's the point that I'm making. Like, the independent processing has its limits in certain situations, and that's why the Nectar House thingy, it asks you, like, are you an I person or a we person, and even the most I person, like, I, like the self, even the most I person would still need to demonstrate the we skills. Like, even the most independent person in a relationship still needs to demonstrate that, yes, I can function as a partner. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I know how to function in a team, in a unit, as a pair, not just as a single person, right? Like, I can function with multiple people, not just one person. Or you get it, okay? You get it. It applies. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, there's even the most independent person ever. There's times when, especially if you're a person who wants to be married, like Jango, like, there's time, or in a relationship, dating, whatever, there are times that you do need to be able to co-process. You know what I'm saying? Like, do it with someone, not just yourself. So yeah, that's what I'm pointing out. And just to clarify, nothing against any of the people, Deb or Jango, blah 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 blah. Love both of them. They're great. Absolutely nothing at all against these people. I'm just purely reflecting on the scene and, like, the communication styles and communication issues between them, and just commenting on that. Yeah. You know, like I relate a lot to him in that way. I think we have the same print, like RIEO. Yeah, I relate to him a lot. I'm just saying. So for anybody who also relates to him, like, well, there you go. Just sharing my thoughts as usual. Lady.